Hi, fourth and seventh graders. Mrs. Hillman here. Seventh graders, in case you don't know me, I'm Mrs. Hillman and will be your school counselor while Mrs. Collins is out on maternity leave. Fourth graders, you definitely know who I am. So it's nice to see you guys. I hope today finds you well. I hope that you had a good first day back from spring break yesterday and you kind of feel like you're getting into the groove of doing school at home. Seventh graders, I've been doing something with the fourth graders this year called Technique of the Week. And basically what that is I'm teaching you guys kind of different coping strategies that you can use like during times of stress, or if you're feeling depressed or just kind of like down in the dumps, or maybe you're just feeling like super hyper and you kind of need to like focus in so that you can get some schoolwork done, or you're driving your parents crazy and you don't want to get in trouble. You can use just a lot of these techniques to kind of help ground and center you so that you're in kind of like a nice, even space. In the fourth grade, we call it the green zone. So that you can kind of operate to the best of your ability without being on either spectrum of like super high energy and crazy, or like super low and depressed. So I wanted to bring you a new technique of the week today. It's similar to one we've covered in the past, fourth graders, talking about those negative thoughts, but I really like the visual that this one brings. So who has ever seen something like this? This is called a Doodle Pro. When I was growing up, we had, dang it, I can't remember what it's called now, but we had those ones that you can like shake to erase. But it's all kind of the same thing. Whatever you want to picture kind of in your imagination, you just want to picture something that you can write on and then you can erase. So it could be like a chalkboard, it could be a whiteboard, it may be whatever appeals to you. You don't actually have to have one of these to do this technique, but this is something you're going to visualize. So as you can see on this board, I've written kind of some things that I've heard from students, that they're stressed, they're lonely, they miss their friends, they're scared. They are surprised to admit that they miss school when they never thought that they would miss school, but they do, and that there's just been a lot of change and this is hard. So when you're doing this technique, I want you to close your eyes and kind of visualize whatever this erasable board is, filled with those like thoughts that have been like swirling around in your head. It can be anything. Sometimes it's not even that they're negative. Sometimes it's just that your brain is so full, you feel like you can't think straight. Okay, so when you're using this technique, you close your eyes, you picture a wipeable, erasable board of some kind, and you just think about all of those thoughts that have been swirling through your brain that you feel like you can't get a hold of. Okay, got it? Do you have some thoughts that you're kind of thinking of? Yeah, I'm sure we can come up with that list pretty quickly. Okay, so step number 2 is you are going to erase them. So a lot of stress and anxiety is focused in your mind. And when you are feeling overwhelmed and anxious, you really kind of need to like take control of those thoughts. So when your eyes are shut, when your board is completely full of all the things you can think of, you are going to mentally erase them into a blank slate like this. Maybe it'll take you a few times. Maybe you've had those thoughts for so long that you kind of have to like erase a few times. Maybe it's kind of like when your teacher writes on a white erase board with a red marker and the red doesn't want to come off right away and they have to like erase it a few times. That's okay. If you struggle at first with this visualization activity, it's a little bit different. I get it. So just in your mind, close, and like you can even take your hand and like erase it while your eyes are closed if you want to. Anything that helps you kind of focus on that blank slate. Now that you have your blank slate, you want to take a deep breath. Long and slow, maybe a few times, and just kind of take in the blankness of it. because we have had so many thoughts swirling around in our head for so long that that can be overwhelming. Just having like a nice, clean, blank slate can be really helpful. Now, the final step, if you want to leave it as a blank slate, maybe you're doing this right before you go to bed and you just want it to be blank so you can kind of like relax and not have to focus on your thoughts, that can be absolutely great. And I do that sometimes too. But sometimes we struggle to have our mind stay clear and to stay blank like this because it wants to fill up with things. But we want our minds to fill up with things that are helpful and positive and not necessarily just fill up with all the clutter and junk that it can if we don't control our thoughts. So think of some positive things that you want to think about in your brain. I'm going to write a few on here. You're going to want to think of some positive ones as well. I've been very excited about the change in weather that we've been experiencing, having some days of sunshine, having some warm days. So the things that kind of help me that I want to think about are things like having sunshine. It's going to be sunny in a few days and it's going to be so nice. The flowers are starting to bloom. I look around the trees and I see like the little buds of green and of the different colors coming out. And I just am so excited that at least if we're going to be inside and at home, it is kind of turning spring-like. And I know today isn't a great day because it's cold and cloudy, but it's not going to stay like that, which is the exciting part. Thankfully, we're going through this in March and April and not January, right? So these are the things that really help lift my spirits, that they're positive, and these are the things I want to fill my mind with. So, and that's step 3, after you've erased your board, you want to close your eyes and fill your mind with those positive things. Maybe there is something that you're looking forward to this summer that you hope still happens. Maybe there's something around your house, like your parent just bought you like a really good smelling candle, or you just got like a new video game that you're excited to play, or, anything like that that you feel like is positive that you want to fill your mind with, you're going to mentally write on your board. Okay. The longer you spend focusing on those positives, the better they're going to stick in your mind. Okay. So anytime you feel like you are overwhelmed with those thoughts, anytime you feel like you want a clean slate, close your eyes, visualize what I showed you here, and erase those thoughts. Erase and replace. Erase the bad ones, replace with the good ones. I hope that helps you guys. You can always reach out to me through email or send me a Google Hangout. I've chatted with some people during Google Hangouts. We can set up a Google Meet if you want to do that as well. The counselors, the staff, we are here for you guys. We know that this is hard. We know this is a big change, and we want to help you get through it because you guys are really important to us. So have a great day, and hopefully you use that technique. We'll see you later.